This old computer case is one of my old, and yeah, pretty old daily driver. Don't mind the power cord for now. That old thing is a Acer 5517, which has received some modification over the years, and I will hopefully try to keep this short and not bore you with too much description. This old thing is an Acer 5517. Used to have a 1.6 single core AMD K6 CPU. Originally came with roughly 3 gigs of RAM, I believe. It could have been 2, I don't know. Video's starting to get long in the tooth again. Dang it. Let me set this other power supply up. Plug it in, because I'll need to set this up to power the computer up. Light means green, or green light means good. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this in so you can see the fan go. Yeah, don't stick your finger in there. I haven't done it yet, but before this video is over, I probably would accidentally hit my finger in there. And then I'm going to set this end on the power supply. I know this thing gets hot, but I'm not running this that long for this demonstration. So, here we go. Another thing, I'll take you out for here. These are the wires that originally went with the CPU cooler that I had to take out. The old one had done broken apart and started making a racket. I had to fix it. My thoughts is I was going to be able to take the cord, the wires out and attach it to another fan. That didn't work out because it didn't supply enough power. I'll discuss this first, since it's easier to, look at things this way. And then I'll move on to how I was going to run with this. As I will describe later, I had to replace the fan with another one. The duct tape's the remainder of what I had on here before. And then after I had to store this, I ended up taking this off an AMD heatsink CPU heatsink and installing it on here by giving her some hot glue all the way around the edge. Excuse the dirt, I actually just pretty well brushed it off. So it was a lot more dirtier. But then it's been sitting on a shelf for the better part of 8 years, give or take. Power supply is off of somebody's DirecTV satellite, or not satellite, well, satellite, that's right. And the plug-in. How I got it wired is I just got it square. Yeah, it was a little bit more better, but I had to pack this up, and this is replaced back on there janky like that, because I was going to take this all the way apart, and this was once glued to the side. Two different types of RAM. I don't advise touching RAM like I did. One's a PNY 2 gig stick, one's a Nanya business, Nanya, sorry, 2 gig stick, and then a Wi-Fi card. This used to be set up in an old wooden frame that would tilt the computer a lot more ergonomically, or a lot more ergonomically in my mind, and actual ergonomics is two different things. Back here I had a box with an Xbox 360 fan attached to it, and it would suck the air out of this heatsink port. Later on, I ended up upgrading the CPU, as you can do in this model, to a dual core with 2 gigahertz AMD. The problem with that is I ran into is that the old modification with the Xbox 360 thing wasn't pulling enough air through and couldn't keep it cool. So I had to downclock it to 70-ish%. So, lo and behold, I'll just fire this thing up. Before I get ahead of myself, what ended up happening to this computer and why it got stored the first time is that the hard drive did crap out. I took everything apart, got rid of the wooden box mod, and the duct taped together Xbox 360 fan mod and put it in storage. Later on I found a 20 gig drive, installed Windows 7 to it, installed the fan kit just to see how it would go. That's when I believe I had to repair some of these wires, and that doesn't stay in there very well. Alright, this is probably shorter than the original video, but let's put the power on, try to rush through this real quick, and hit the F2 button, so hopefully I can get this in position before anything. Alright, and this should prove that I do have a dual core, 2 gigahertz. I know it says 2000 megahertz, but that's roughly Acer 5517 and all this other information. Go over here, I do have 4 gigs in. That's the meager video memory. 20 gig drive, DVD drive, yeah, and that should be it. What am I doing here? I want to go there and then boot. Booting into the system. Hopefully it's faster this time, because when I recorded this video prior, I talked my head off for 25 minutes, and I'm sure you guys would have been bored out of your bleeping mind waiting for me to get to the bleeping point. And I know that's my problem. I'm the quietest guy around until I'm recording myself. Oh shoot, we're here at the password screen. I will have to cover you guys up just for a second and enter the worst password in the history of mankind. I'm sure you could probably guess it if this thing was hooked to the internet. Oh boy, the battery is no good, but it's been sitting for 8 years. If it was good somehow, I'd be surprised. And no, not connected. The connections that it used to be connected to belong to an ISP that is far gone. Poor guys. I wish we could have Insight back, because when they got bought out by Time Warner Cable, they went to shit. And when they got bought out by Spectrum, they fell off the flippin' cliff. We got better speeds. It's probably about the bonus thing, but overcharges like a mofo? Yikes. Alright. Pop Specky open. It'll ask me for whatever. Yeah, It's an old version, 1.3 something, not infested with at one point where it got hit with a malware attack or whatever. I'm trying to hurry this video up so I can get through here. I'm trying to copy my long rant that I was doing before. Let's see, where did I leave off at? Actually, we're running on schedule. This is the gist of it, and that's not 82 Celsius, that's in Fahrenheit, because at the time, that's how I read things. So, just don't freak out. It's okay. 79 Fahrenheit on the CPU is actually fairly good. But the kicker is, I probably still have this thing downclocked because I have, when I pushed it, I think the power was too much for the old cooler to handle, the one that the Xbox one. So I think it downclocked to whatever. But we look into that truthfully. I think we might have enough time. I'm still trying to speed this along for you guys, and hopefully actually fairly quick about it this time. Minimum I think is on 1 and 0. Cooling policy is on. Why is it on passive for battery? Hell, I don't know. I should have set that to active both. And batteries, oh okay, I have it higher than I thought it was. But then, you know, it wouldn't matter what it's on battery anyway, because I believe the poor battery is belly up. Alright, I'm going to go to change this here. High performance. I'm going to set that there. I want to check to see if I have everything set up properly here. I'm doing this without a mouse, so bear with me. 5 and 100. Wow, that's crazy. 100 and 100. I guess that's that policy. Okay, out of there. Thought I had no internet. We'll just load something else. Load the next tab of YouTube. Come back to here. Alright, I gotta stop. Ah, shit. Alrighty. Since we were so rudely interrupted earlier by such things as a heater that is just a little excessively loud, I'll try getting back to where it was. Right now, since it's late in the AM, I'm still somehow awake, and I can't roll with that. Oops. 2 cores, 2 threads. It's not a hyper-threaded CPU. 90 nanometers. If you guys want to pause the video and read any of this, just pause it. I'll go through this fairly quickly. And don't mind this bit up here. Total memory slots and free memory slots is a lie. There's only 2 memory slots in this computer motherboard, and they're both used up by DDR2 sticks in dual channel, but 2 different makes. 2 gigs per stick. One's a Nanya business. Alright, done joking. And PNY Electronics, both at roughly the same megahertz, even though the JEDECs are off. It's missing 1 on the PNY, but back then I afforded little. I mean, I bought this computer off of oops, well, that almost was a mistake. The power plug fell out, and almost cost us the whole video. So I need to be careful about plugging on this here. Motherboard, Acer motherboard. Pause the video if you want to read the rest of it. Graphics, it's an HD 3200, which is not very good. You can run Minecraft at roughly 15 to 25 frames a second with a dual core. I used to play, well, I play it once in a while. Not as much as I used to. Storage, a Samsucky, 20 gigabyte. I've got more memory on my SD card in this phone than I do on this computer. But we won't go there. And scroll through this here. Just feel free to pause somewhere, anywhere. And yes, this is still reading the prior hard drive. Wait, no, I take it back. I'm sure plenty have corrected me in the comments, but ain't worried about it at the moment because I'm the one that made the mistake. I should apologize. And this is okay, not very much time for this. I don't even remember where I got this from. Interesting. Why are we running at 67 degrees Fahrenheit while the other core is running 92 degrees Fahrenheit? We're running at 2 gigahertz roughly. Oh yeah, optical drives. Just your random DVD drive. It's actually, in my opinion, can read pretty decent for an older drive. I've got, old crappy discs to work fairly well on this old thing. I couldn't tell you if that would still be the true now, because if there were any dirt got in there by now, there probably is dirt. Alright, if I have failed to mention, there is no internet connection on this device, so I'll leave you out. Hopefully here where I'll try to play this game and not die. Another thing there is the sound does work on this poor thing still somehow. And I know the light in the background is probably brighter than the light that comes from this screen. Also, the many hours I put on this thing, I put plenty of hours on this thing. Plenty. So we'll just try to get through this game here. It's just bonus content. You guys don't have to watch any further. It's just showing that, I don't know exactly what I'm showing here, but my prior, oh yeah, I forgot that part. Jump over those. Boing. Ha. I'm not here to break no records. I don't think I'm remotely good enough to even think about that. So, ooh, that was a close one. Getting on pretty quick now. My prior fail recording got me to, I think, 200 or 1,200 and some. Oh no, maybe I'm further than my prior fail recording. Well, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. Splat right into a cactus. That means quit texting on your phone when you're driving, playing games, or whatever the heck. And I probably should go ahead and end this video. If it's too long, let me know. I'm sure you guys would have already ran away by now, listening to annoying old me talk about my second laptop I've ever owned. But